Boom! What's up, y'all? So I finally have some free time to do an update video on Buddy. Thank you, all of you, so much for teaching me, supporting me, educating me, and being there for me and Buddy and Lana. I've learned a lot. We've made a lot of progress. So if y'all haven't seen the videos that I've done in our group, on here, the posts that I've done, for the last 3.5 weeks, Buddy has been on a very slow decline. I just went to the second vet and he actually put on an additional 4.5 pounds. So that means in 3.5 weeks, he put on close to 20 pounds. And he normally only weighs 65 pounds. Now he's close to 85 pounds. So that's pretty much like a human being putting on 22, 23% body weight in less than a month. It's a major issue. And that his heartbeat is jumping out of his chest, and he's like stomach breathing, he's diaphragm breathing, and it's like he's taking 250 breaths per minute. So I knew there was an issue. I took him to one vet. They did a bundled price. They told me they would just be able to do a blood test first and then do the x-rays, and it was like $330 and I had to pay it all up front. So then I did a video. You all sent me messages, gave me hundreds of different remedies and advice. Angela called me, who used to run a vet clinic, do the training for all the people that would work there in Indiana. I talked to her. Lana had a coupon that was expired 15 days ago. I think it's called Harbor Clinic. And then I gave that information to Angela, who's a rock and rad star in our group. She's the expert at this. She called them, asked them the specific questions, the right questions, because I don't know what I'm talking about, and really just pinpoint, so I wouldn't get taken advantage of, or I would just get the best information. At that point, Ella made a post in the group and some funds were raised, and I had, I think, $230 when I went to the vet. And then I took them to the vet. They weighed Buddy. Again, he put on 4.5 extra pounds in just a 2-day period. So he's close to a 20-pound weight gain. And what's interesting is, and I have a photo of this, is the doggy weight. It's a big steel metal weight, scale. It actually was a Trifexis scale. It had Trifexis logo and then branding on the scale. And it looked like the scale was like from the future. And so if you watch the previous videos, these animal clinics, these animal vets don't want to have the discussion about the pesticides that are in these drugs. And if you look at all of their pamphlets and all, it's all pharmaceuticals, just kind of like a human being. When you go to the doctor, they're prescribing pharmaceuticals. And so he's on Trifexis. So this is what happened. So I take Buddy in there because the first time I went there, I didn't feel like the dog really, or I didn't feel like the doctor, she had graduated from Auburn, really took the time to really feel Buddy's chest and really poke around where they're supposed to, underneath the legs, see where he's discomfort, because he's rock solid. He's like concrete and like super swelled up. And, but I kind of backed away when her and her assistant were kind of, doing the exam. This time at the second one, I was like, I'm gonna stay there with him and I'm gonna help. And so I was there with him in the checkout counter. He's a really heavy dog, and they really took the time to we got Buddy on his back, and he wasn't so stiff. And so they really got to pry around and do what it is that they do for a physical exam. I told her everything that I told everybody else, and she recommended to do the x-ray first. So I was like, okay, and they call it a view. They say x-ray one view, x-ray one view. So I had them do that, and it came back that there was an abnormally, something was in the x-ray. It looked like his spleen was enlarged or possibly ruptured. So they came back and they said, we need to do a second view. And these are like $75, $80 a pop. And I said, and she explained why. And I said, okay, let's do this. And I remember the first vet wanted to do the blood work first, then the x-rays. But the second vet actually took the time on a physical, like a doggy physical. And so she recommended the x-ray first. So I said, okay, do the second x-ray, and I'm doing this with all the funds that was raised, you know what I mean? So they did the second x-ray, a different view where they get maybe a different angle of his spleen. They came back and they said he does have an abnormally large spleen. And she said from the second view, it is a healthy spleen. It wasn't ruptured. It just, maybe he was born with a bigger spleen. But with the second view, they saw that his bladder there was irritation, a lot of irritation on his bladder. And she said the high possibility of an allergen or allergies. And I say, okay. I said, well, what about the blood work? And she said, well, we can run, and I'm running out of money here at this point. She said, we can run a thyroid blood test. I think that was $45 or $55. And that was her recommendation, a thyroid blood test. So then they did that, and it came back negative. So during all this, I'm in there and I'm listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and I'm looking at all these pamphlets, this heartworm. They have like all these worms and all these pharmaceuticals, and looking at, and then I'm thinking like, because I stay out of the hospital. I've never stayed the night in a hospital. I've been in the hospital like one time when I broke my ankle. I was high and I was riding a motorcycle at Dahmer Park, and I fell off and I had a hole in my leg. And then when I broke my ankle, but I've never been sick where I had to like stay in a hospital or anything like that. But I have been to a couple of hospitals when people, are sick and stuff. And then, they get the prescriptions. And then I went to the VA and I saw a counselor, and, she talked to me for 20 minutes, didn't even look me in the eye, and prescribed me all of these prescription drugs. And I'm putting it together when I'm listening to Joe Rogan. I'm like, the medical system, the doggy vet ninjas and the doctors at the hospitals, they're all just prescribing. It's like they have an opinion. It's an educated opinion. And they go to school, and it's, if you look a lot of times, and I'm not being judgmental, but if you look a lot of the doctors and the experts, they don't really, most of Americans as well, but a lot of them don't look too healthy, but yet they're the experts. And so it just seems to me that they're prescribing pharmaceuticals. And I thought, when I was listening to her, I'm like, okay, what is the most important thing that I try to do? And I used to be a lot better at it, but I still do it. And I'm like, hydration, water. I'm like, I gotta have water. I used to run around when I used to do my videos, and I used to have this big gallon jug of water. And it hit me. So look, I'll show you this right now. So how do I flip this around? I haven't done these in a while. So it hit me. So this IKEA thing, Lana had this old wooden thing, and I got this IKEA thing for $40 on Facebook, which is normally $200. And then I got these inserts, which were included, and like I customized it, like I made this whole thing so it saves a lot of space, right? And then what I did is I created this little MacGyver doggy thing, because like I think it was 3 months ago or 4 months ago, I was reading for like bull-chested dogs that it's best that their bowl is raised. So I created this thing here, and then this right here, I'll show you this. This was a bowl right here that I was using, and if you see this one, it's dirty right now, but I put Velcro on it, so it wouldn't move around when you would eat. And then I had this one right here, right? So I made this contraption, and it works perfect for Buddy. It saves a lot of space. I mean, this whole thing, I was gonna do a video on this thing. I put all these little things here. I just like customized it, and we keep just a whole bunch of stuff here. I inserted a mirror here. I was gonna do like an IKEA like what DIY thing, and then like this insert here. Just anyway, and then I keep like his dog stuff here, his food here, his bag here, and this. And so it worked out really, really well. And he loves eating his food. I was gonna sand this so it was like gonna be a corner, so it wasn't like kind of like pointy. But the point of the story is his water was here, and his food is here. And I grabbed a little doggy container, and I put it back in. Well, Buddy drinks like a madman, and he spills water all over the place. Like it's like half the water ends up on the floor, and this is wood, even though these are probably gonna be replaced or whatever. So he was doing that for like a month. We have to put a towel here and whatever. And then for some reason, I was like, yo, let's keep his water outside. So this is what I did, and this is huge, y'all. This is huge. So for the last 4 weeks or a month, what I've been doing is I've been keeping his bowl right there, right? And then I grabbed the hose, I installed all this, I made this ladder and I installed this hose. And then so I take the water from the hose and I put it in here, or when it rains, I put the bowl over here. Well, check this out, y'all. Do you see those trees right there? Those are called live oaks. They're live oak trees, and the thing is there's two different ones. That's a different name oak tree. This is a papaya tree. It's doing really, really well. Look at that. How awesome is that? And then this big tree is another live oak. See that big tree there? And then this one? So they're two different kinds. And if you see right there, if you Google it and you do research, they're really, really allergies, like real bad. Like look, so I did this 2 days ago, and not just those, but pollen everywhere. Those pavers that I did last year, like 3 weeks ago, we pressure washed them and the deck, and they were just coated with yellow and orange pollen. So when I'm sitting in the chair listening to Joe Rogan, and I noticed, I'm like, okay, what is this water thing? I'm like, we moved his water. So then I got online, and I'll show you this. So then if you go here, it says, because here's the thing, y'all, I'm gonna flip this around. Here's the thing, dogs can't talk, right? Humans can talk. My liver hurts, I can't take a dump, I'm constipated. You know, my scrotum hurts, whatever, my tongue is swollen, I can't drink water, this food tastes disgusting, whatever, dogs can't do that. And so during the literature I was reading when I was at the second vet, it's a process of elimination. And that's really kind of what the professionals are doing, but they just have, you know, tools and blood work and science and technology and stuff. And so I'm like eliminating all this stuff, and I've gotten hundreds of different recommendations, but if you read this, check this out. This, and there's two huge live oak trees right there, and that water bowl has been sitting there exposed for the last month. And I even noticed, here we go, I know I'm talking really fast, this is the way I get down. This whole yard, y'all, we've done a lot of work, right? I mean, ever since Lana can remember when she moved in, it's been rampant with mosquitoes and rampant with fleas. All that used to be dirt. I just got that shed for 200 bucks, done a lot of work, but all this used to just be dirt. And when Buddy first arrived here, I think, what is it? It's been like 20 months from North Dakota. He basically looked like he got doggy leprosy. He was like, he basically lost all his hair. He had all these lesions on him. I mean, his whole body was just, I mean, it looked like he had doggy leprosy. He actually, flip over here, buddy. He actually has a new hot spot. Over here. Come over here. See this new hot spot he has? You sit down. Come lay down. You're a good boy. Lay down. Lay down. Do you see this hot spot he has right here? Basically, you all, his whole body was like that like 20 months ago, right? And then because of the fleas, and there was fleas all over him, right? He doesn't have any more fleas at all, and he's got a nice little beautiful coat. You know what I'm saying? Like beautiful, beautiful coat. So let me keep going. So I'm like, the water, the water, the water. It's gotta be the water. What do humans need to do? They need to stay hydrated, and that's a process of elimination. What have I been doing different? So your mind goes crazy. Did I do this? Did I do this? And then if you read this, live oaks, I guess we'll read it together, and you could do like dog allergies too. It says live oak allergy brings the most misery. And for some reason, I would see in his water, I see some insects and mosquitoes, and then when you go deeper, flea saliva. Flea saliva is extremely poisonous to dogs. Not just fleas, but flea salivas. And what attracts fleas and mosquitoes? Water, stagnant water. So I remember I would always see his water's not that clean, but it's rainwater, so we'll just let it be. Yada, yada, yada. But if you look at this, live oak allergy, trouble pollen for spring allergy sufferers. It's spring. Look at these symptoms, y'all. Asthma-like symptoms. You can't breathe when you have asthma, right? And it's like a doggy hay fever, and these were all of the symptoms that he was having, right? All of this stuff. And just a little outdoor exposure, like when we just have this open, see, I fixed the screen. When we just have this open, he's still exposed to those allergens, right? So any time he goes out there, he's exposed not just to mosquitoes and fleas, but actually all the pollens, and that's just the live oak tree. There's a lot of other stuff out here in Florida that he could be allergic to. So this is what happened, y'all. So I came home. She basically said 2 X-ray views, both negative, irritation in the bladder, possible allergen. Then she gave the thyroid blood test, came back good. Then she came back and she said the next thing you need to do is a full spectrum, it's called like a senior full spectrum white blood cells cancer test, blood test, and it's $149. I'm like, I don't have any money. And then and I said, well, I'll see what I can do, you know, because, you know, the Rock and Rad store's already raised some money. I'll see what I can do. So as soon as I took him home, I came and I said, Lana, we need to change his water. I went and grabbed that bowl, that glass bowl, and I gave it to Lana. Lana was standing right here, and I gave her the glass bowl, and I said, I don't want to use that bowl. We need to rinse it out. And then what I did is the water that we drink, this water. And you know what? Actually, I'll tell you all this. So Lana goes and gets this, and she sits here and blesses this water. She, like the Hare Guru, or she like literally stands over the water for like 2 minutes, right? And it's fresh water. It's healthy water. Buddy's never drank this water. He's normally drank the sink water when it was in here, or when it was out there, we would be rainwater or the hose water, but it was exposed to all the outside elements. So check this out. I got this bowl, and this was 2 days ago, y'all. True story. I filled this bowl up all the way to the top, yo, right? And he wasn't drinking. He was kind of forced eating, but it was really, really hard to get him to drink. And even when the last 3.5 weeks, when he'd come back from a walk, I'd kind of have to trick him to drink that water outside. I'd have to sit there and kind of grab his collar and pet him and kind of force him to drink his water. And I thought he was already sick. That's why he didn't want to drink the water. But I think the water it could be 100% of the problem, but I know it was a big part, because what he did is he drank an entire bowl of water all the way to the top. I went back to that thing, I filled it up, and he drank another entire bowl. So he drank 2 of these bowls right off the bat, like it was the first time he had a drink. I filled that bowl of food. He didn't touch the food for a whole day. So he did not eat, right? So that tells me that water is a key element to keep it inside. And so check it out. As soon as he did that, he went and laid down right there. Actually, he went and laid down in his bed, and he was breathing normal. Totally normal, not panting, kind of like he is right now. Look, y'all. See how he's just normal? See how like calm it is? And it is a little bit warm and humid out here, but he's not panting, right? For like, especially those last 72 hours, literally he was running a marathon, and that's why I was freaking out. So for a whole day, he was good, okay? And the food was still in here. Well, I think the next day, like at 1 p.m., he ate half the bowl and ate another half, and he was good to go. Now, last night, he started panting a little bit, not as excessive, so there still could be something wrong, but this is a huge change, and I'm telling you, and I mean, I could be wrong, but it could have been that he was drinking outside water that was getting exposed by all that pollen, fleas, and mosquitoes in his water. Just flea mucus, y'all. Just flea mucus can kill a dog, and that's how you get heartworm, and I didn't know that. So, this is my plan. Again, last night he was breathing pretty heavy, but it's nothing even close. So check this out. When Jordan and I adopted Buddy in Alabama, right? We adopted him like, I think 5-6 years ago. And he was at the pound, and he was already chipped and neutered, and he had all of his shots. Since then, y'all, he has never been to the vet. He went to the vet one time, I think, to get 1 shot, and it was like 3 years ago because I got him trimmed. And I went to PetSmart, and they wouldn't take him because they said he needed 1 shot, not like 4 shots. So I went and got him a shot, like $35. So he got 1 shot in 7 years. So I don't know if he's gonna be okay like this. I know that the water was a huge, huge thing. And when you read like thousands of comments, when I was talking to Angela, it could have been the excessive working out. He could have twisted his stomach. It could be the food. It could be the egg that I started giving him. You just don't know, and you're banging your head against the wall because you see your dog going down, and it's like you're just trying to do anything. So what I want to do is I want to, I think I have $90 now raised for the blood test. It's $149. I want to go get him the blood test because he's never had this blood test. And then I'm going to monitor him with this fresh water, because then if I can get him to the vet and get the blood test tomorrow, which is Monday at 9, then he'll be on this fresh water for over 48 hours, and I can really see, what the deal is, because it's a drastic change just by changing his water. And in the comment section, because I had a dog Snickers and I had a dog Baron when I was in Arizona, and they were always outside dogs. And the water was always left out on the back patio. And that was at my dad's house. Completely different environment though. It's super dry. We didn't have any mosquitoes. It was a covered patio. It was really nice with a pool and like the fake AstroTurf and all that stuff. But do you all feed your dog the water that you drink? Do you feed it from the hose? Do you feed it? Do you put the water next to his food? Is it like on another bowl? Do you have it in the shade? Is it outside? Do you give him like what kind of water do you all give him? And where do you live? And has your dog ever been affected by allergies? Because I don't think I've ever had allergies. I know my dad has allergies, and I think, and hear me trying to be an expert, I think it's probably because of the excessive dairy that he eats. But a lot of people says, oh, it's springtime, I'm sneezing. And I do get the pollen, and we all are different. But from what I'm reading is allergies can be deadly. And if you really go down that rabbit hole, a lot of the over-the-counter pharmaceuticals are allergy fixers or options. I've just never struggled with that. Like the Benadryl, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff for humans because it could be deadly with the lungs that you can die. And I've seen it firsthand now. If this is it, if it was the water, then good. Now here's another thing. We go get the blood work. He might be good. He might have cancer because he still has those 6 nodules. Look, he still has. Come over, buddy. He's a good boy. See how much more calmer he is? And look it. See? He's not panting at all, y'all. See this? He's just normal, right? But this doesn't explain. See this huge nodule right here? It's like a rock, right? He has that one. Look at this one. He has this one. It's like a rock. He has one right here too. See this? That's like a rock. He's got some other on his other side, and those are new as well. Now, I don't know, could the water cause huge rock-like things on your skin? I don't know. That's why the blood test, since he's never had one, this full spectrum blood test is really, really important, because that seems to me that it could be like a cancer thing. Because if you go down the rabbit hole on those spots, those rock things, if they're soft, they could be like fatty cells in a dog. But if they're rock hard, and you got to remember, 72 hours ago, he was so swollen. I mean, he's lost probably 10 pounds, y'all, just from switching his water. So that showed you, that's why I'm thinking it was an allergen that was just inflaming him from the inside out, because it's not like he was breathing it in. He is breathing it in, but he was drinking it. He was drinking all of the flea mucus and other insects in there. And then all the pollen that I had just pressure washed the deck, because it was all orange and yellow. That was all in his water. And water, so all of that, he was sniffing, but all he was drinking, and that's why I had to force him to drink water, and I put it together, So I'm almost 100% that's a huge culprit, but it still could be cancer. So, and if you really think about it, this can drive a human being nuts, y'all. I've never, this is the first time I've had to deal with something like this. It can make you sick. When your animal's sick, it could drive you nuts. It could still be the trifexis. You know what I'm saying? It could still be the trifexis. I haven't met any doctor that will talk about it yet, though. But if you go online and you go on YouTube, you see these dogs having seizures. There's 6% of certain dog breeds that die. So it could be the trifexis. I don't know. But I just wanted to do this video because we had 22 people that donated, and then 28 people donated. And I decided, for the group, and that I just wanted to gift all of you the meal plan. It's $97. And, it's just what I can do to give back. Even if you donated $5 or $10 or whatever it is, I have your email address, and I just emailed you, all of you, the 12-week RADiculously meal plan. So, enjoy that. Give it to a friend, give it to a loved one. And you never know, just drinking a smoothie, a blueberry smoothie, or making a nice coconut yogurt, or just trying to, eat real foods. There's over 300 recipes there. It's got a day-to-day, what you eat every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It has a shopping list. And so that's what this group is for, y'all. I don't make any money. I don't have a traditional job. I try to spread the love to humans, and I try to use my skill, my passion, and my love to do that. And when my dog needed help, you all, I didn't ask for it, even though I do not have an issue with asking for help now, even with the Kauai manifestation and other people that have lost loved ones or their pets have passed, you know, GoFundMe's and all that. I wanted to gift that to you, and I want to do the blood test because it still could be cancer because of those spots. So I want to do an update. I can't reply to all your messages. This is the best way to do it because then, you know, if you ask me, I'll tag you in this video. Another thing, one of our Rock and Rad stars. So first off, thank you, Ella. Thank you, Lana. Thank you, Vanessa, not Vanessa, and not Angela. You know who you are. You're the doggy clinic Rock and Rad stars in Indiana that called the second vet for me. And we had a pretty good conversation too. We were rapping about other stuff. But Cheryl, another Rock and Rad star who lost her cat like 4 months ago. And we raised, I think, $300 for her, $275, something like that. And then she kindly said, hey, I want to pass that on to another Rock and Rad star. And Angelina just had a tumor removed, and she had cancer. Or I don't know if she had cancer, but she had a tumor removed from the back of her neck. And she passed it forward, and then so we gave her those funds. And so Cheryl lost her cat, and now she just told me that her dog has now heartworm, even though the dog is on trifexis. So you just hear all of these stories, and everybody's story is different as a human, but then when you're a pet owner, all of those stories are different, and all the ailments are different, and all the medications are different, all the holistic approaches are different, everything is just different. And so you try to learn and learn and learn because you just want to help your loved one. So she reached out to me. I've had so many people reach out to me with CBD stuff, essential oils. She's local, and now she lost her cat, and now her dog, her poor little dog, she has 2 dogs, now has heartworm. So now she has a CBD. She has an extra bottle, and she's local. So Lana's dad was mentioning something like that to give to Buddy just to see for comfort. As you can see, I mean, look, he's pretty comfortable right now with that clean water. And look, he still might look a little chubby, but look, I mean, I'm telling you, he was rock hard. See how soft he is now? See how soft he is? I mean, look, he's soft. He was rock hard and bloated. Literally, he's lost 10 pounds, 12 pounds over the last 48 hours because of clean water. He drank 2 large bowls and didn't even eat that day. So I can have Cheryl send that out to me because she has an extra bottle, or I might just get on my bike and ride. I don't know where she lives, but she's local somewhere. So, and then try to incorporate that and see what the dosage is, and just try to get Buddy to where he was. You know, I knew something was wrong with him. And hopefully it's just the water. If it was just the water, wow. Because I'm telling you, I feel like he was really on his death's door. And it was all just the matter of elimination. It still could be his food. I don't know. I'm still going to try blood test, CBD. I did stop giving him an egg, but I just saw an instant rebound from not giving him that water in that bowl anymore to the fresh water that we drink and that Lana blesses over there. And yeah, so that's it, y'all. I'll read these comments. Hello, Patricia. Hello, Melissa. And hello, Julia. Julia, I sent you the meal plan. Thank you so much for your donation. Hello, Robin. Hi, Debbie. Brooke, hello. Hello, Charlotte. Hello, Maja. Maja donated. Thank you very much. Hello, Cindy. Boom. Hi, Chris. Hello, Melissa. Gabe, what's up? Y'all, Gabe, my Navy buddy. We've been going live. I talked to him yesterday for the first time in 3 years, and we talked for 4 hours. He went live in the group, and then he went live in the group today, and I got to play with him in the group. And so you all friend, follow, and support Gabe. I've known Gabe for 20 years. Gabe knows me like no other. Gabe can answer any questions you might have about me, but more importantly, ask him questions, y'all. he's hurting right now. He's trying to learn and discover, what his journey is onto, to healing the heart and becoming a better father and a better human being. And so he's in the group, y'all. He went live. I would have never thought Gabe Becerra, my Navy buddy, that does not do social media, that is a total recluse, doesn't get the whole, he wants his private. He ninja flipped on Facebook, number one, then went into the group, number two, and then went live. And he was nervous at first, but he did like an hour video, and you could see he found his flow when he really started to talk about what was really heavy on his heart. And he had all these strangers, all these rock and rad stars that were asking him questions, giving him advice, not judging him, not tearing him apart because they don't know him. They're accepting him for who he is at this moment. And I tell you what, I'm just going to be honest. I wish my dad would do that. I wish my mother would do that. And I wish my sister would do that. Let alone every single one of you, because that's why I keep going. Because like I've always told you all, I needed something like that. And I still tell my story. And I'm not even like leveling up as much as I used to because I'm trying to serve others. And I'm not, and I feel like I'm making an excuse, and maybe I am making an excuse, but what I'm doing right now takes all of my time. And so I want to update you all on a lot of stuff that's going on here, but that's what I just did actually. I just didn't do it in the group. So anyways, if you haven't introduced yourself in the group, go do so. Invite your friends, family. Invite your friends and family in the group too, y'all. They might be surprised at the stories that you're telling, and they might be surprised at all the love and support that you're getting as well. Wow, maybe my niece isn't that bad of a person. Or wow, I used to really judge my uncle. Wow, he's actually really cool. Or wow, she's really awesome. Why didn't she confide in me? Why didn't she tell me that story? She could have just called me. Well, maybe you preconceived on who she was, or maybe you gossiped about her. One thing I've noticed, I'll share this with you all, and I know this is about Buddy, is that one thing I noticed about me is I've never really gossiped. And when I'm out and about in these new places that I'll tell you about, I hear so much gossip, like in real life. And I'm like, why are you gossiping? What are you getting out of talking? Even if it's not negative, but I feel like you're just wasting air. And you're like wasting energy, and I call it brain juice if you're gossiping about something. Now, if it's negativity and it's drama, then it's even worse. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, I'll leave you with this. If you hear somebody doing that, if you hear somebody gossiping and talking about a family member, if they're talking about a friend, if they're talking about just an acquaintance, well, guess what? It's pretty simple. They're probably gossiping about you too. So keep that in mind when you build these healthy boundaries, and you're ready for an optimal reset, and you're really, ready to just change your life, and create, a healthy circle. If someone's gossiping to you about someone they're probably doing the same thing. So just keep that in mind. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Y'all, I want to play. I want to do some funny stuff. I just want to keep, buddy, say hello. Say hello, buddy. Say hi, buddy. Say hello, buddy. Say thank you, boy. We'll go get blood test tomorrow. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. You can breathe now, huh? Are you a superstar? Are you a superstar? Show them how you pet your head. Pet your head. There you go. Pet your head. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. You pet your head. There you go. Peekaboo. You're peekaboo. Yeah. Boom! Love you all. Keep it raw. Stay rad. What?